These are 6 rules that I've heard. 6 rules for conflict that they really cover a lot of the things that you said and that I'm about to say for men.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in general, if you're doing, I think you and your spouse need to make an agreement. We don't do any of these things when we're in conflict, and you need to pre-decide.
Yeah,
It's like,
that's
here's
good.
our rules of engagement. We don't do any of these things. And we make this commitment. Now, have we broken the commitments? For sure.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But these are things that we pre-decide. We're not going to do this. No name calling.
Right.
That helps.
That's out.
That's out. No name calling. Do not raise your voice. It is never, ever, nobody has ever been shouted into agreement. So no name calling. Do not raise your voice. We do not get historical. That's Jana's thing of love keeps no record of wrongs.
Right.
If every conflict turns into an archaeological dig of everything you've ever done wrong for the back part of our marriage, well, it's literally impossible for the conflict to end in reconciliation and unity.
Well, and then that's, it's like you've forgiven that. That is gone. It's gone. You have moved forward. You are looking forward. So you should not be looking back.
That's it.
Yeah.
The principle behind this biblically is the principle of, hey man, sin is like trash. You married a sinner. Both of you are going to sin.
Yes.
When you sin, it's like you're bringing trash into the house. Repentance and forgiveness are how you take out the trash and make sure that the marriage has the aroma of Christ.
Yeah.
So honestly, and I'll be honest, I think we would say there have been moments in our marriage in the probably first 7 years where this sometimes felt like a thing. That whole, we never get historical. You always, you never. Oh, this reminds me of the 87 times that you. It's like, no, love keeps no record of wrongs. We don't do that. And I will just say, if you do that in conflict, ding, 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 I have just figured out why your spouse never wants to admit they're wrong to you. Because they have learned, you have trained them that if they admit they're wrong, you're not going to cancel the record of debt. You're going to store it like a pile of rocks that you can throw at them when it's convenient for you.
Yeah.
So it's very, very, very important that in conflict, we obey the biblical command that love keeps no record of wrongs. I have canceled the record of that debt.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to bring it up every time. All right, so let me keep going. No name calling. We do not raise our voice. We do not get historical. We never say never or always, because very frankly, never or always are simply not true.
Yes.
It's just not true. And then the person feels mischaracterized and attacked, and now we're not fighting for unity. We're fighting each other.
Yes.
We have never done this one, but if you are doing this one, you need to stop doing this one forever and ever and ever. Never, ever threaten divorce.
Right. No, absolutely not.
This is a covenant. It is not a contract. And I've already covered in previous podcasts what are moments where biblically divorce is permissible as a last resort, not a first option. But you don't do that.
And that's manipulation, right? You're manipulating to gain control to get what you want.
That's
It's
right.
Inappropriate.
That's right.
And sinful.
And sinful. And then the last one is when you're in a fight, never ever quote your pastor. Say that. And I got that into this. But that's it's a bad time to be like, Pastor Josh said, well, Jana seems nicer than you. See, let's not do that. Does that all make sense?
That's good. That's good.
Can I talk about some things that I think men particularly struggle with?
Yes, please do.
In conflict. So number one, not always, but very frequently, because men can, again, I'm generalizing. We're all big boys and girls,
right.
and not. But in general, men can be a little more rational. Women can tend a little bit towards emotional reasoning. What that can sometimes result in is men are in conflict, fast, fact. Hey man, we listen and give some space. So that's there's your little hack that I've learned. Hey Jana, so what I'm hearing from you is when I do this, that makes you feel. So that's number one. Don't steamroll. Dudes can steamroll.
Right.
Dudes can steamroll. You already hit acknowledge when we're overthrown, and man, if you are a wise, self-aware, self-controlled man, you will be mature enough to understand. Please don't pretend it's just women who get emotionally overthrown. Are you crazy?
Yeah.
Yes, it may look different sometimes, but men are the exact same way. When you start noticing you're having level 9 reactions to level 2 statements, bro, you're overthrown. Or when you're seeing stuff that's like, bro, that's not even there. Like
Right.
you're overthrown.
Yeah.
Here's what I have learned, and Jan, I'd love for you to speak into this. Am I right? Am I wrong? Would you say it a different way?
Okay.
What I've learned is that acknowledging your feelings makes way to speak lovingly about the facts.
Okay. Say that again.
Acknowledging your feelings makes way to speak lovingly about the facts. So, for instance, you'll be, it's that whole thing of when she's talking feelings, you talk feelings. When she talks facts, you talk
Yes.
facts.
Yeah.
We'll get in and you're vocalizing how you feel about something,
Yeah.
right? Well, I'm trying to bypass it. Like, well, you
Yeah.
shouldn't feel that way because of this fact.
You're right.
And hey, let me just say, this is really annoying to me. I think bad Christian teachers are like, actually, the facts don't matter, and you just need to get unity. That's really stupid, because the Bible says the truth is what's going to set you free.
Right.
Yeah, we have to deal. It's not her truth and your truth based on her feelings and your feelings. No, we're talking. We need to get to. We are Christians. What is the truth?
Right.
Okay, but what I will say is, like, for men, if you'll take time to acknowledge and in some ways validate her feeling. Hey, what I'm hearing from you is when I do X, that's making you feel. It sort of starts to pull the emotion out, or at least begins to lessen it, because the person feels loved and understood. They kind of feel like you're on their side now.
Well, and you feel known. Like it's kind of like there's an understanding. You're seeking to understand. Okay, this is what makes you feel this way, or why your response was that. Like there's a deeper understanding there.
This is simply the in-game application of 1 Peter 3. Husbands, live with your wives in an understanding way. So in conflict, if you get to that spot where it's like, okay, I disagree on the facts, I'm going to get to that later. First, man, it sounds like that made you feel X when I did Y. It lowers it, and then it starts to feel like, oh, now we're working together
Yes.
against the issue and the division,
Yeah.
instead of we're working against each other. Agree?
Yeah, agree.
All right. I hit in the sermon that there's a dude named John, I think it's John Gottman, that he studied these couples and for 13, 16 years, something like that. And this guy, this was crazy. He can literally watch a couple do conflict for 5 minutes and predict with a 92% accuracy if their relationship is going to make it.
Wow.
Because there are 4 things that he's like, he called them and I hit this a little bit in the message, that he called them the 4 horsemen of conflict.
Okay.
One of them is stonewalling. That's like, I'm going to shut down. I'm going to do this silent treatment.
Okay.
I'm going to go off in my corner and just
Yeah.
ignore you. Men do 85% of stonewalling.
Okay.
So 85. Now, it's interesting. In our marriage, that's not me.
Yeah.
But in general, men. So, and let me just like call this out, because when men are doing that, a lot of times what's happening is, essentially it's a form of, I'm going to punish you.
Yeah.
If I just withdraw and act like I don't care about you and I don't care about your anger, that it creates anxiety, loneliness, and fear in her. And you're going, I'm going to punish you by taking away the thing that you need the most right now to feel close to me. So I will say this. Now, men can't do that. Like, bro, you can't do that. Like,
No.
be a man. Men of God live by their commitments
Yeah.
and their convictions, not by their feelings and their desires.
Right.
Okay, well, I committed to be one flesh with you. So I'm going to stay in this thing. We're going to get this thing taken care of. So that's what men need to do. Now, we'll say this, and Janie, you mentioned this earlier. When we used to do, and this, a lot of people don't like it when I say this. When we used to do premarital counseling, what I would always tell young men is almost all young men walk into marriage scared of their wife's emotions. And if you do not conquer, if a young man doesn't conquer your fear of her emotions, then her emotions are going to dominate the house instead of your leadership. This
That's
is like
good.
this is a thing, okay?
Yeah.
So what will happen is, and this ties into what I call it the myth of servant leadership. Like
Yeah.
there's a lot of Christian men that radically misuse the phrase servant leadership. and it gets manipulated to where actually what they're doing is they just coddle and agree with and fan into flame any emotion that their wife has. And what ends up happening is her emotions that sometimes can be out of control end up leading and dominating the home instead of his godly leadership.
Right. And you don't want to support a sinful attitude where, like, leading you down a bad path.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So yeah. So you got to watch out for that on that thing. Last couple things I'd say is for it doesn't matter what gender you are. Forgiveness and reconciliation need to be like as immediate as possible.
Yes.
So we dropped this real quick on one of the previous podcasts, but we had this little book we read, First Year of Marriage, about marriage, changed our marriage.
Yeah.
And there was a little thing they put in that book that we have used, I think only once or twice, but it's like if we're in a public setting and one of us realizes that we said something that offended the other person, we'll make eye contact. And I remember a couple times in Mount Washington where it's a little nonverbal signal in a public setting to make sure that an apology and forgiveness happens immediately without a word.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do it to you right now. We'll just reach across and tap each other's foot. Do I get you?
There you go.
Tap each other's foot like if we're in a dinner party or a hangout.
Yeah.
And it's a way for us, we don't even want to have to wait till get in the car an hour later. How do we, quote, not let the sun go down on our anger? How do we forgive immediately now?
Yeah.
Because we want nothing in between us ever.
No, the goal is unity.
That's it.
Yes.
And then last thing I'll say is, a lot of guys in this series have been asking like, okay, what does it mean to actually lead my family, lead my wife? Yeah. Well, hey, bro, that happens in conflict.
Yeah.
And hey, one thing you can do is here's what you do. You demonstrate humility and leadership by when you're in conflict, find something that you can apologize for. There's almost always at least one thing. Find something you can own and apologize for, and you lead by going first. You be the first to apologize, and it starts to diffuse things.